I mean, I think like many writers, we write to understand. We write because, we're curious and interested in something that happened.
Yeah.
Something that I struggled with, though, as I was growing up, and you see this a bit in the book, was that I knew I wanted to be a writer.
Right.
I knew. But as I was struggling to come into an understanding of my identity, my race, sexuality, gender, and really struggling with depression and self-hate, to be honest, the impulses collided. And so often when I was younger, I would stay in dangerous rooms, figurative and literal, because I was like, well, I can write about this. And doesn't that mean I'm in control of what's going on? And so I struggle with that. And so, but that's a problem. That's a problem. And so I realized I wanted to write the book when I felt I had a different intention.
So are you writing yourself out of the room?
Writing myself out of the room and explaining why for other people.
So it is for other people. And again, I think there's something that all of us can take from this book, but it sounds to me like what I suspected. You also wrote this really for you as much as for us.
Sure, I think, certainly a memoir, right? You're going into your own personal history and making sense of it. And the challenges of writing a memoir, it's just instructive because you have to fully flesh yourself out and other characters and the landscape. I can't just say, yeah, I grew up in Louisville and just, you've got it, right? Most people will never be in Louisville necessarily. So I have to bring it to life, and that creative act, you learn from it. You're like, and then more memories start to come, and memory is an unreliable narrator. I think of it as a kind of trickster figure. So you really, you're grappling with your memories. We incorrectly remember things intentionally and unintentionally all the time, and so in the, the 5 years in earnest that I was writing the book, from the time I sold it and then publishing it, I'm glad I'm a slow writer because it allowed memories to come up and have time to really
You had to work through that. I mean, you bring up a couple of good points about writing memoirs. First thing is that sometimes your own memory is unreliable. You're an unreliable narrator, right, of your own story.
We are all the unreliable narrators.
So how certain are you, since this is presented to us as your story, how certain are you that your memories are, by the time we read it, reliable?
I think they're reliable in the sense that I'm pretty straightforward in terms of my own reliability. And I say, there's some really important high intensity moments in the book, and I go, I don't remember what happened next.
Right.
I don't remember what she said.
But
I wish I did.
The conversations recounted at least reflect what happened.
That reflect
there are
what
no
happened.
Composite characters, right? It's a true story.
Yeah, and sure, you have to, and that's why I try to be candid about what I don't remember, because I'm already asking a lot of you as a reader, and that I'm using fictive techniques, right? I'm creating dialogue, right? And so I'm trying to do my best, but you try to rein it in. That's why, I try to be very intentional and sparing with dialogue, because listen, most of us, we're lucky if we can remember a few words from a specific conversation.
That happened today.
This morning.
Right, as opposed to going back many
years later.
Many years.
Totally.